Hello everyone, Dr. John Bartemus here of Functional Medicine Charlotte with a client, Barry, who wanted to share his story with us today. So Barry, why don't you share why you first sought out functional medicine care?
Sure. Well, for the last couple of years, I haven't been feeling very well. A lot of weight gain, low energy, joint pain, heartburn, quite a long list of items that really were affecting the quality of my life. So my wife recommended I come see Dr. Bartemus, so I started coming to see him about 6 months ago, and we started working on a plan. And his first introduction, he told me that he was more of CSI. He was going to look into the numbers and figure out why my numbers were what they are.
Yeah.
And
so we did some CSI detective work, like I like to say, to find causes that were deeper because, what did you hear for the heartburn?
I heard that it was grains and dairy. Originally, doctors...
Well, before me, what were the doctors, what was the detective work being done?
There was no detective work other than just lose the weight and eat right, and that was it.
And basically. What about medications?
Medications,
recommendations at least.
They said I could use an over the counter, or I could get a prescription. When I did, first step I did do is I did go to my general practitioner for an annual screening, and they did lab work. And I came out of there with about 4 prescriptions, which I didn't really want to take. And, other than the coaching was just to lose the weight, which I knew I needed to do. And I had been trying to do it. I just couldn't drop the weight. In fact, it just kept gaining on me as my energy levels dropped. So I was in a spiral turn.
Yeah.
So
okay, so then we did the detective work, and for the heartburn, for the sleep issues, for the joint pain, and just give us a synopsis here or what really stuck out to you that was different than what you'd experienced conventionally.
I think the first thing was just going to a paleo diet. I love pizza. I travel a lot, so eating fresh at Subway wasn't the healthiest option for me. But
Jared did it.
But Jared did it. He turned out great, apparently. So. That was the biggest thing for me. I think I started feeling better probably about 3 days after that, and then of course the supplements that Dr. Bartemus put me on as well.
So in implementing the plan, which addressed nutrition and had supplements involved, but also addressed sleep and toxins and physical activity and things of that nature. What are the results? Because that's what everyone wants to hear.
Well, some of the surprising results were, for me anyways, was snoring. I was a chronic snorer, snored every night, all night, drove my poor wife crazy. She'd have to wake me up probably 5-6 times a night with just snoring. And I also had sleep apnea, so I'd be startled awake, out of breath, sweating, probably 3-4 times a night.
Okay.
So, my regular doctor had recommended I go for a sleep study, so I'd probably be on a CPAP machine right now if I didn't come and see you. But within 3 days, I pretty much stopped snoring, and that was 4 months ago. And my wife said I snore a little bit, maybe a handful of times in the last 4 months. So, with no issues of sleep apnea or waking up in the middle of the night at all. Which is, huge for the quality of life.
Yeah, so. Both you and your wife.
Both, yeah. Happy wife, happy life. Yeah.
And how about the heartburn?
Zero heartburn whatsoever. I haven't had heartburn in months. I'm actually back to eating some hot sauce with my meals, and
awesome.
It's great.
And then you'd mentioned 2 years of bursitis in that right elbow.
Yes, I had joint pain in my right elbow, and it would move over to my left, and I went to physio for months and months on that, and it just wasn't getting any better. And I haven't had any issues with joint pain whatsoever. Even I had a little bit in my feet, which I really didn't realize, but it's gone. And I feel great.
Awesome. So overall, I guess, what would you say to someone who's on the fence or thinks functional medicine's too new or too weird? What would you recommend?
I would definitely come for a consultation, listen to you. It's definitely worth the money for the quality of life. I feel much better. I probably haven't felt this good in, I would say close to 10 years. So
awesome.
I'm looking forward to keep going on it.
That's right. So you alluded to the money, because some people may say, hey, that's a lot of money, or that's expensive or whatever. So just touch on that a minute. And you did slightly, but the investment, just talk about that compared to a copay, and how do you view that?
Oh, there's no comparison. I'm sure I could be on prescription drugs and my cholesterol levels would come down, but my quality of life, I wouldn't feel as good. I think initially there's some sticker shock because you don't know what you're going to gain out of it. If you could do it backwards, it would be amazing. But it's changed my life, and it was definitely worth the investment.
Awesome. Well, Barry, this is my favorite part, because I get to high five you and say you've done the hard work. I appreciate the opportunity to partner with you, and from now on it's just continuing to build momentum and implement the lifestyle that you've created. So great job, and thanks for sharing.
I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah.